And welcome back, everyone, to more of the Broken Sword. And here we go. I figured he'd finally show up. Assuming that's Lobineau.
I beg your pardon. Are you Andre Lobineau?
That's me. You want my autograph?
No. I was told you may be able to help me.
Help?
My name is George Stobart. I'd like your professional opinion.
Well,
his eyes
okay.
look really dirty.
Shoot.
Does the name Montfaucon mean anything to you?
Sure. It was the most grisly spectacle in Paris until the Revolution.
A public toilet?
Montfaucon was the place of execution for many thousands. A dark temple of death, with row upon row of arches, each one framing a grim exhibit. Scores of rotting corpses swung on creaking rope, while the crows devoured their flesh.
Yummy!
That explains the image of the hanged man. I found a reference to Montfaucon in Ireland, in a village called Lochmarn.
Lochmarn? That's where Pegram was digging.
That's right. He'd left the excavation before I arrived. Do you know Pegram well?
Not really. I met him at a conference. I would have liked to talk to him in depth, but I didn't have time.
When was this?
Oh, back in the summer, July, I think.
I'd like your opinion on a medieval manuscript.
Vraiment? Do you have it with you?
No, it's too fragile. And besides, there are certain people who'd stop at nothing to get their hands on it.
Intriguing. Do you have a copy of the text?
There isn't much, only a few Latin phrases. I was kind of hoping you'd help decipher the pictures.
Without seeing the manuscript, that's a tall order.
Just tell me one thing. What does the image of two men riding on the same horse suggest to you?
The Knights Templar. Does the Templar seal appear on this manuscript? I'd love to see that for myself.
The manuscript is being looked after by a friend.
In Paris?
Yeah. Not far from here, in fact.
Well, just give me the address and I'll come round and take a look.
I'm not so sure about that. Maybe I should check with her first.
A female friend?
Yeah, she's a woman. This friend who has the manuscript?
Oui, the anonymous girlfriend.
She lives at 361 Rue Jarry.
Ah, I know it well. I'll drop by. Just as soon as I can.
That...
Can you tell me anything about the
I'm
Knights
not sure I wanted
Templar?
to tell him
I
that.
sure can, Georgie. Soldiers, diplomats, mercenaries, monks, bankers, you name it, the Templars fit the bill. The greatest fighting force in Christendom, the militia of Christ.
Jeez. How did the Templars get their name?
From the building in which they set up their headquarters. The King of Jerusalem gave them part of a mosque on the Temple Mount. It was said to have been the site of the original Temple of Solomon. The order became known first as the Knights of the Temple, and later as the Knights Templar.
You're a mine of information, Andre.
Glad to be of help, Georgie.
How come the Templars became so wealthy?
There was a constant stream of new recruits to their ranks, many from noble families. They were required to swear a sacred oath of poverty, chastity, and obedience.
That sucks.
Their money, goods, and lands were donated to the order. The Templars soon held land in France, Scotland, England, Spain, most of Europe, in fact. The poor Knights of Christ became the wealthiest power in Christendom.
Is it true the treasure of the Knights Templar was never found?
Who knows? So little knowledge of what really happened remains. Or if it does, the truth has never been made public.
What do you mean by that?
The Templars have attained mythological status, like the King Arthur of the Britons. There are people even now who say the Templars still exist.
Do you think that's likely?
No, not for a minute.
Huh.
I think you ought to know that the tripod is going to be stolen.
The Lochmarn tripod? No.
It's true. I can give you a description of the thieves.
Before the supposed event has taken place?
I heard them planning the raid.
They're wasting their time. The tripod is protected by a state-of-the-art alarm system.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you. Why don't you loan the tripod to me for safekeeping?
Yeah.
Because I'd never see it again.
Well, don't you trust me?
It's not a question of trust, George. That tripod is hundreds of years old and extremely fragile.
I get your point. Have you ever heard of the Hashashin?
Why, yes, it was a radical Muslim sect whose name became synonymous with murder. It was formed in 11th century Persia, shortly before the Crusades.
At roughly the same time as the Templars.
Yes, they gave a new word to our language, Assassini, the assassins.
Sorry.
How did the assassins get their name?
From the legend surrounding the secrets of their initiation rites. A young man who sought to join the sect was given hashish until he drifted into dreams.
Dweens.
He awoke to find himself in a fabulous garden with everything he could wish for. The freshest water, the most delicious food, the choicest hash, and the most delectable women imaginable.
Cool. Do you have the address?
I haven't finished the story. There was a price to pay for this taste of paradise.
Wouldn't you just know it?
The young man would wake the next day to find himself back in the real world. He was told that he'd been given a glimpse of the heaven reserved for holy martyrs. A heaven he would enjoy for eternity if he was willing to join the Hashashin.
How did the assassins operate?
Well, as I explained, the new recruits would be only too willing to die for the cause. They'd be instructed in the use of the dagger, poisons, and disguise. Then, the Grand Master of the sect would name an enemy of Allah.
And they'd stop at nothing to eliminate that enemy.
You got it. They were fearless and deadly.
Does the cult of the assassins still exist?
Take a look around at the world today. You tell me.
Where was the site of Montfaucon?
To the northeast, near the Canal Saint-Martin. But there's nothing there now. The old gibbet was torn down during the Revolution.
What do you make of this?
It's the biggest gemstone I've ever seen. Where did you get it?
From Professor Pegram's messenger boy.
Did Pegram find this on his dig?
Yeah, the site where this was found was a Templar castle. Do you think it could be part of the Templar treasure?
No, I shouldn't think so. You're not one of those crazies who think the Templars still exist, are you?
Well, I try to keep an open mind on the matter. Does the guy in this photograph look familiar to you?
No.
Alright. I mean, I'm not going to go... Well, the club, maybe.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
Alamut is the name of the place where the Hashashin were based.
Oh!
Where is it?
Somewhere in what used to be called Persia. I'm not too hot on modern geography, I'm afraid. The most recent map I have shows America as an English colony.
Too much blood pressure?
That is not a good idea. Take a look at this nose, Labino.
It really doesn't interest me, Georgie.
Alright.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
I mean...
Watch out! You...
I mean, I still feel like I have to get that, but... Let's go to, Let's go to the police station. Okay. Excuse me. Frickin' sneezing.
Sergeant Moo?
Yes.
Yeah, the assault. Nothing new.
See you later. It was just some police...
Alright, well, let's go to Montfaucon. And another chap to speak with.
Excuse me, officer. What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Les Templiers. Only that they were excommunicated in 1312 and hanged in their dozens within this very square.
Boy, what they teach in the police academy these days.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
Oh. Who are you?
Shouldn't you be off directing traffic or something?
You have seen the Parisian traffic, no?
Yeah, so?
I could direct the traffic. The most dangerous, the east side of Rome. Or I can sit here and enjoy the sun, the architecture, and the so-so Sauvignon. Which would you choose?
Yeah, but I'm not a policeman. What happened to duty?
An excellent question, monsieur.
Have you seen this man before?
No. Who is it?
I believe him to be an international assassin.
Oh.
Is that all you can say? Oh.
I did wonder if I should say that I believe you to be an international paranoiac, but it didn't seem polite.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur.
Alright, we can go up there. I would like to go down in the sewers, but I'm not sure.
In French, English, and German, it read, "In 1312, Pope Clement V dissolved the knightly order of the Templars and excommunicated its members on charges of heresy. In the following 2 years, many of the knights were hanged on this site. Their Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was burnt at the stake on an island in the Seine."
Hey, you! What do you think you are doing? Leave that comer alone. Now,
Alright, so we do have to get rid of him.
no harm intended.
you stay away from that.
Doesn't mean we can't look around here right now.
I didn't have time to sit around.
Well, we got some Knight Templar-ish, stuff-ish things.
A knight, there in the company of his fellows. Biblical references engraved into the tomb edge to guide his way to the next world. I guess. On the end of the staff was some kind of disc with a cross on it. Around the base of the disc was a hairline crack. Well, I could have just taken the end off the staff, but I wanted to be sure what I'd be getting out of vandalizing a church, other than deported. On the end of the a scroll was a symbol of scholarship. I knew that much. A scholarly knight. That rang a bell. A very Spanish bell. On the end of the staff, on the end of...
With the crack in it, huh? Can I just whack it? I can't plaster of Paris that, can I? Can I shock it? Alright.
I didn't recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout.
This doesn't give me a whole lot to work with.
A stone knight lay in full stone armor, blank eyes looking at the ceiling. Carrying all that armor around must have been hard work. A stone... I wondered if this guy had died in combat.
So we gotta get that stone disc.
Somehow it looked more modern than its neighbor.
And nothing really sparks here. I mean, it's obvious we have to get in there.
Hello again.
Hello?
Do you know what this is?
It's a sewer key.
What do you think of this?
A blood pressure sleeve.
Would you like to shake... I stopped myself barely in time. Electrocuting a cop would not have been smart. They'd rebuild the Bastille just so they could throw me in and throw away the key. Look at this gem. What do you think?
Cut glass.
No, it's not. It's for real.
What kind of madman would go?
So either it's glass or I'm mad? I didn't like to think about that for too long.
Alright.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur.
Nothing... I mean, we can look at the Rougerie.
Hello, Georges. Oh, by the way, I had a visit from André
Good.
Lobineau.
Oh, yeah. I hope you didn't mind me giving him your address.
Not at all. It was lovely to see him again. He was over the moon when I showed him the manuscript. It's not often he gets that excited. He made a sketch of the knight's crest to take back to the museum. I believe he's identified the family who bear that crest.
I sure hope so.
We don't have anything else, though, do we?
Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. Besides,
He would...
Alright.
I'd better get back.
Well, we can go to the museum again. But I'm not...
Hi, André.
Hello, Hey, I visited Nicole's apartment.
Yeah, she told me you came by.
Ooh, quite a fine Georgie boy. I
Thanks.
didn't expect anything quite so sexy.
Not
I
thanks.
hope you're referring to the manuscript.
Oui, of course.
What can you tell me about it?
What did you make of the manuscript?
It dates from the time of the Crusades.
We guessed that from the Templar seal.
It's a story and pictures like a modern-day comic book.
What story does the manuscript tell?
I don't know. It was probably produced for the tourist market.
Tourists?
Oh, oui, pilgrims in their thousands on their way to Jerusalem. The tourist trade is nothing new, you know. It's been around for centuries. Ever since Joshua made a packet selling souvenir bricks from the walls of Jericho.
Have you deciphered any of the images on the manuscript?
The family?
There's very little I can be sure about. The slang of the bull could be a reference to Mithras,
Who's he?
a Persian god, almost as popular as Christ at one time. The only thing I can be sure of is the knight. He's Spanish.
How can you tell that?
The writing on the shield, the reference to Ave Maria. No self-respecting knight from Northern Europe would have borne a coat of arms like that.
Can you identify the knight's coat of arms?
I already did, Georgie. He's a member of the De Vasconcelos family from the Costa Calida.
Were they famous?
No, they're not mentioned after the 15th century.
Oh.
The spotlight of history moved on. They're probably long dead.
I'd like to shake you by the hand, André.
Not now, Georgie.
Thanks for your help, André.
You're welcome.
That still doesn't give me anything. The police? Is Russo back? Or can I speak to... talk with him, maybe, possibly, question mark?
Sergeant Moo?
Yes.
See you later.
I mean, we can try going back to... the Rougerie.
hello, Georges.
Is there something going on between you and Lobineau?
What business is it of yours? We agreed all this. The clown, the Templars, strictly business, remember?
Yeah, but...
So get off my case.
Wow.
I'd better get back.
Damn, so that didn't actually advance anything. Alright. Montfaucon, we know we have to get this guy to move.
Excuse me. What do you know about...
Les Templars and
Boy,
no,
shouldn't you be... Yeah?
I could or which
Does this red nose...
aha! Very significant.
It is?
No.
No,
What do you make of this grease paint...
delightful. Would you like
Hell no.
then, please?
Do you know what this is?
Aha! I read Hollywood Wives. I know all about it.
If you tried to sniff this stuff, it's plaster.
It is. Thank heaven. For one awful moment, I thought I might actually have to arrest somebody.
Oh,
Hello, the paperwork.
I'll see you.
that's not a bad idea. He is a lazy policeman. We should go back to the other dude. So yeah, folks, as always, thanks for watching. Tune in the next. Thanks for watching, everybody.